Back at the bus, back at it again with another review, this time for Spider-Noir, starring Marcus's favorite actor in the world, Nicolas Cage, and his favorite actress from Sinners, Jun Li.
I don't know why you be telling people falsehoods, but shout out to Nicolas Cage. I think he had a pretty stellar performance as Ben Reilly here in this series, and then Jun Li was much better for me in this one than she was in Sinners.
I agree. I thought she did a really good job, especially given the genre that we've got here. We've got this, detective, but like romantic twist thing going on here. I guess I should say swirl.
It's like a vanilla tapioca swirl.
No, but I think given the genre that we're in, we're making this 1920s black and white style detective show. I think both actors, and actually more actors, and we'll get to that in a second, did really great with what they were given. But Jun Li is like this damsel in distress, and she's being held against her own will with this gangster. I think she did a great job with that.
I think Lamorne Morris as Robbie Robinson.
I agree. He did an excellent job. Good. Lamorne Morris does a lot of comedic roles, but he also does like the real acting really well.
Yeah.
He's got range. He's got range as an actor for sure.
He wasn't an annoying appendage, right? He wasn't there to just simply restate plot and remind the protagonist about certain things. Like he played his own role in the story, acted with his own agency a lot of times. And I liked how subtle yet reminding us, like Robbie was a black man in this.
I was just about to say this. Yes.
Right. Like the only other portrayal I have of Robbie so far is the original OG Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. Right. Mm-hmm. And you see him, but it's just literally within the context of the newspaper at the Bugle. And not really too much outside of that. We don't see anything about him and his personality or anything outside of the Bugle. This was a chance to see him in a completely different context. Not completely different. He's still a writer, but a different context where you have the chance to like see what kind of person is he? Like how smart is he? Is he clever? What kind of interest does he? Do he care anything about being black? You know what I'm saying? Is he kinfolk? We know he's kinfolk, but is he kinfolk? And he's definitely kinfolk.
Absolutely.
I thought they subtly worked that into the narrative without taking us into slavery or civil rights or lack thereof. This was like Great Depression time. They were showing.
Yeah. I definitely thought the chemistry and the story that they were telling with him and who's effectively Tombstone in this story, I thought that was great. I thought they handled the subject of race in a way that wasn't too much. Like it wasn't overbearing. It was like, look, we know we both black in this city full of white people that, that may be discriminate against us at times. We have that in common. So let me help you. Even though I did you wrong accidentally, it wasn't my fault. Let me help you. Let me try to extend a hand here. And they did it in a way that wasn't overly annoying or overbearing. Yep. I thought that was extremely dope.
Nice. World War I, not Great Depression, but around the First World War. Just after the Depression. We still in Prohibition, so.
Facts. I thought his secretary, Ruiz.
Yep.
I thought she did a really good job. And I think the three of them as a trio worked. I think the chemistry of them all, without any character being a little too annoying or anything. I think if anybody was the annoying character out of the three, it was Nicolas Cage.
Well, I got kind of annoyed with Kat. She was playing around a little bit much.
Sorry, I just meant of the three, but yeah.
I got you meant of those. Yeah. But yeah, the main protagonists, I guess. No, they were all pretty solid.
Kat made some questionable decisions, but I do feel that kind of like, why is she running away with bro?
Like we start out with her and Kane Marco, Flint Marco. Just for her to be telling the backstory about how Silvermane killed her first husband or her fiance, So like that hadn't happened all that long ago. Then she on the Flint. Oh, but I love Flint. But we can run away together. It's like, God damn, woman.
I was like, But
Like,
again,
God
I feel
damn.
like that kind of fit the genre a little bit.
It also, they didn't just leave it like that was normal, right?
Yeah.
Like she got held to task for it by pretty much everybody involved, and then by the end of the series, you understand why she did it in the first place. Like she just kind of really used them.
Yeah.
Be that Ben Reilly or the Spider, which I mean, puts it into perspective a little bit better and doesn't make it so like, oh my God, I just fall loosely in love with any man who bats his eyes at me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the villains in this story all did a really good job. I think Flint Marko as a Sandman character. I believe the only one that I wasn't crazy about was I don't know if he was Electro or if he was
called himself High Voltage or some shit. He was definitely
it was something, yeah. But I thought it was like Sandman, Electro, and Tombstone essentially.
Tombstone is basically
or like an early iteration of them, and so I feel like the Electro here, he got a little annoying at times, but I think that was his character. He talks a lot. But I think
he also was the first person to realize what I was asking for at least 3 or 4 episodes. Like, so why y'all still running behind Silverman? Great character, by the way. Great character. But like, why the fuck were we running behind him? The fact that I thought Silverman was going to go and capture the Doctor himself without the superpowered individuals. That reads a little bit more to me because I don't want y'all to be there while I'm getting the shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want y'all to see that I have something that can cure you. I want you to keep working for me as long as you possibly can. And then maybe potentially I'll hold it over your head, but I'm definitely not about to give you the opportunity to just grab it from me. So that felt a little bit plot driven. What I'm more surprised about is why we don't have a better delivery system, but these fucking fragile ass glass syringes. Like, Jesus, we didn't know what plastic was back then.
Nope, no clue. Yeah.
Also, they stabbed my man's in the eye, and he got to keep his eye. I'm like,
I was like, his eye is completely intact, like it's perfectly fine.
I'm like, so wait, that's the only vulnerable part on your body, but I can stick you in it with a syringe, hard as hell too, like basically punch it into your eye.
You're not blinded or anything. You're just perfectly fine after that.
Walking around, not even a scar.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, no.
Red.
All in all, I think if that was my only real gripe, I think the show was pretty good. Everything was in black and white for me. I don't know why people are choosing to watch it in color. Well,
I guess people I watched episode 5, the flashback back to the liberation of France, where where he frees all the soldiers. That was the only one that I watched in color. I immediately went back to Noir.
You just wanted to switch it up, sounds like,
just to see if there was anything that maybe I was missing, like if there was anything that I needed to see in color. I kind of grasped the fact that Silverman was Silverman because he had a white strip in his hair. Like I kind of got that already. Like it wasn't really the only thing that really changed for me is I got a better sense of how everybody dressed when you got to put it in the color. But
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, it didn't really do much. Did you know that Ruiz wasn't supposed to know that he was Spider-Man?
No, not until the end where she was like, he told me.
I was like, oh, she didn't know. Like, you didn't know that she knew? I thought we were all under the expectation that she knew that he was Spider-Noir.
Yeah. I thought she was supposed to know. But I guess he only told her when he was extremely drunk.
I'm like, man, but she's having these conversations with you like she knows. I felt like, I don't know. I didn't think that was supposed to have been a secret to her.
No, I didn't either. But I mean, she knows everything. I don't know. It was Megawatt, I think is what he called himself.
Megawatt. There you go. Yeah.
Instead of Electro, but I still feel like he was Electro.
Lame.
Right. All right. Any other thoughts on Spider-Noir?
Nope. Solid series.
Solid series. You think we'll get a season 2?
8 out of 10. I do think we're primed for a season 2. Probably another love interest. Now that he gave He gave old girl Cat the skirt. Like, look at you over here trying to keep me on the hook while you running off with Flint. Get out my face, girl.
I think he basically said that verbatim. Look at you trying to keep me on the hook.
But yeah, no, I mean, I would watch this again. I would. It was good enough.
I would too. I liked the noir aspect of it. I even liked the nice little touch of Amy Winehouse at the very end of it. I thought that was dope. You know, I like the acting here. Even though Nicolas Cage and Jun Li are like 30 years difference, I think there's a nice. I mean, there's a nice little chemistry.
They really would have been working. Like, they would have been working this over if they would have made them have a sex scene. So they made it just. They raised the tension just enough to try to make it believable without actually having to follow through on it, which I thought was smart. Because the minute that old ass 70-something years old Nicolas Cage lie down with her ass, it's just it's gonna be like, all right, man, how much he paying? Leave the money on the dresser. Like, what we talking about?
That was a little much, but I think their chemistry was still good enough to where that this is an enjoyable show, and I definitely recommend it to anybody that wants to watch.
It's going to be it for Spider-Man Noir. Make sure you let us know what you thought about the series. Put it in the prompt, like, share, subscribe. I'm not really sure what the next series is that we're doing, but keep an eye out. We'll surely have something up for you on the next review. Just keep a lookout for us.
Absolutely. And make sure you check out our other reviews. Our last review was Nemesis from Netflix. Make sure you check that out. And then, like you said, we like to do this every week. Once we find a new show, we'll let you know. Peace.